Okay, I'm gonna explain a little bit more about about this right here is what we call horizontal, and this right here is called vertical because we're standing. The map is on the wall, but it's supposed to be flat, and that's how you do your code. When you actually using the map and you're trying to go somewhere, this is a city map, and therefore you can use a ruler like this to find yourself. I'm in downtown Louisville, so mine is like M12. So I can come down to M and come over from 12, and that's my location right here. So if I'm in a survival situation, I want to, I can mark myself, and in that mark, I want to know how many liquor stores is in there, hardware stores, where I can get tools and stuff like that if I need them. I want to know in my location how many grocery stores is there, so I know how to get my water and my groceries and stuff. In a time of a natural disaster, those type of things disappear real quick when people panic. You know, like if a snow comes in, you see how people panic sometimes when big ice waves come in the snow, because mostly you have enough food to last you for 2 or 3 days and that's it. Once power go out, if power is our most important thing, what we really need. Once power goes out, you in serious trouble, especially if it goes out for more than 3 days, a month, 2 or 3 months, a year, and as soon as your power go out, that meat is gone. I mean, you might know freezer ain't gonna last but about a day. You got stuff in the freezer, one of them big floor freezers everybody like. You got a bunch of meat in there, and after a month or two, if the power's off, you know, it's starting to decay. You can't eat bad meat. But we mark these different little locations because a lot of times we don't do any type of survival type planning, or we don't plan like that. So this is the reason why I want to show you how to use a map. You can't do this thing on the global positioning system just in your little car and stuff like that. You ain't gonna get this type of understanding. And so that's basically what I want to do. On the other side, we have an index. That index has all these numbers and streets and names of everything, and they give you the longitude and the latitude, but you don't normally talk in them terms, so they just as easy to use the alphabet. You usually have alphabet going across, not all the time, most of the time, and then you'll have numbers going down. And so they'll say L13, and that'll give you 40210 area code if you want to get in this little area right here. If you can zoom in a little bit, I don't know if you can, but these are little squares right in here. These little squares are called grid squares. And on this particular map, I don't see it. I'm gonna look again. But normally, here it is right here. Zoom in over here on this scale. You see that? That scale runs in miles. So see this little square right here? That's 0.25 miles. I can take my ruler and put that on that little purple mark, put my finger on it, and that's going to be those little squares that I showed you. Each one of those little squares is 0.2 miles. So if you go all the way down, if you was to add that up, we're not going to add it up, but if you was to add that little square up, it's probably going to be a square mile. So if you in this square and you on the borderline, you're still in a mile radius. And so there's a Kroger on 28th and Broadway. So that's only 10 blocks from Asar. If he come up here, he might be want to go to Kroger's. He know where Kroger's is right there from 38th Street. Now, and there's a hardware store on 38th and Market. Excuse me, 26th and Market. So if he wanted to know where this hardware store was, he could come out. He can go from 38th to Market, come up to 26th and Market, and be at the hardware store. So you would mark vital locations when you're doing survival stuff. Your food, hardware, and accesses to highways. This right here is 64 going north. So these are the only two bridges that we have on Kentucky. If either one of these bridges is knocked out, all that food and stuff gets knocked out. Everything comes on a truck. Comes on a plane, comes on a train, and comes to you in a truck. In the old days, it was the river. When they started inventing wheels and foods, then you got trucks. Then you got trains. Then, you know, it goes and climbs on up, climbs on up. But that's all I want to basically bring that to your attention today on how to read a map. And we're going to close out. Assalamu alaikum, Islam, Hotep, and have a good day. I'm going to put